ਚਲੋ ਨਵੀਂ ਖਬਰ ਆਈ ਆ ਵੀ ਜੌਬ ਜੇ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ। ਸੋ ਜੌਬ ਤੇ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ, ਬਹੁਤ ਸੌਖੀ ਆ ਤੇ 2 ਕੈਮਰੇ ਲਾਉਣੇ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੌਖੇ ਆ। ਐਟ ਸਟੇਜ 2 ਕੈਮਰੇ ਸੈਟਅਪ ਇਹ ਲਾਈਵ ਤੇ। ਹੋਰ ਦੱਸੋ, ਹੋਰ ਦੱਸੋ, ਹੋਰ ਠੀਕ ਆ। ਜੱਟ ਮੌਜਾਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਏ। ਜੱਟ ਮੌਜਾਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਏ। ਚਲੋ 2 ਕੈਮਰੇ ਸੈਟਅਪ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਆ ਸੇਮ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਲਾਈਵ ਤੇ ਦੂਜਾ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਗਿਆ? ਪੋਸਟ ਲਾਇਆ ਜੋ ਕਿਤੇ ਇਹ ਆਪਣੀ ਉਹਦਾ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਦਾ ਟੌਪ ਕਿਤੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਟੱਚ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ। ਪੋਸਟ ਲੱਗ ਜੂਗਾ। ਆਏ ਹਾਏ ਮੁੱਛਾਂ ਸਿੱਧੀਆਂ ਕਰ ਲਓ।
Just different for them.
You know, I myself have never been or never attended an inauguration, but I would imagine it's just, you know, you really feel the sense of history and the pomp and circumstance when you do travel to Washington and you get to kind of bask in, you know, how we do this, how we have done this uninterrupted for almost the last 250 years. And I just have to know, obviously, the last inauguration, you know, President Trump did not attend that inauguration. At the time, Vice President Pence, he attended Biden and Harris's swearing in here. So he is back, and so that uninterrupted transition, peaceful transition of power. You've heard a lot from President Biden in the last couple of days. You heard a lot from Vice President Harris and incoming President-elect Trump. That is what they are committed to. But I want to go back to this, which I think is interesting. We're talking about faith and how an important faith is to our elected leaders, including and especially the President of the United States. You and I just anchored, of course, special coverage of the President Jimmy Carter's funeral. As the nation said goodbye to him earlier this month. And faith was a really big part of his life and of his presidency as well. And obviously the question is, you know, what Bible will President-elect Trump used to be sworn in on. He will use two Bibles. He will use his mother's Bible and Lincoln's Bible, of course, that was used by Abraham Lincoln in 1861. It's been used for, I believe, every modern swearing in the modern presidency. So it is deeply, deeply symbolic of just a prop, an object for the country to see that. But we will see that inside. And I know it's because as we speak right now, inside are inside. And this is a tradition, this is a custom that had been really since the founding fathers' days. Since that church went up there right across the street from the White House. So they're keeping with that tradition. And obviously, J.D. Vance himself, a convert to Catholicism, his faith in the past and how it guides him. And so I just wanted to take the opportunity to acknowledge that and note that because that is a key feature of these presidencies.
And as we're taking a look at St. John's Church as well as Capitol Hill, you mentioned that, and we were hearing so much of President Biden, of course.
ਕੈਮਰੇ ਦੀ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਰਕ ਦੇਖੋ, ਇੱਕ ਸੱਜੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਰੈਗੂਲਰ ਕੈਮਰਾ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਆ ਪਾਸੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਕੈਮਰਾ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਦੇਖੋ ਫਰਕ ਕਿੰਨਾ
the connection as well
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫੋਨ ਤੇ ਵੀ
as
ਦੇਖ
many
ਸਕਦੇ
presidents make
ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ
a tent pole for them as they navigate the ups and the downs of the political world right there. Andrew, I also wanted to share this because my producer just wanted to share this with us that New York City Mayor Eric Adams is in line for a potential pardon, and he will be attending President-elect Trump's inauguration. We do know that they met
motorcycles
last
are
week
very
as well. And Mayor Adams, a Democrat, attending. So we also see the Democrats and the Republicans perhaps looking ahead to the future, looking to forge a new path, and everyone who attends the swearing-in ceremony is there for a reason. And so this is also interesting to know as we continue to learn a little bit more about who's going to be at the inauguration. Of course, the inauguration now inside the Capitol Rotunda. So only just 600 people allowed inside, and it does appear, at least according to Politico, that New York City
So ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟਰੰਪ ਬਾਰੇ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਫੀਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ
will be one of those attendees.
ਹਾਂਜੀ
Yeah, this is interesting. That trip to
ਅੱਜ ਟਰੰਪ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਸਾਡਾ
Mayor Adams made last week, and Mayor Adams' chief spokesperson came out and he said definitively no pardon was discussed. Adams' indictment was not discussed with the incoming president-elect. They talked about a number of things, including the issue of crime, including the issue of illegal immigration, including the Israel-Hamas war as well. But interesting, yes, one of the nation's biggest city mayors will be in attendance. You're talking about that 600 number. And I've been seeing photos from the 85 inauguration with President Reagan and First Lady Nancy Reagan at the time. And there was a kind of bird's eye panoramic view of the rotunda. I don't know if we can pull that up, but
ਕੁਝ ਚੈਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਇਓ
a lot more than
ਚੈਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁਝ ਪਾਇਓ
So it's going to be jam-packed to your point, though, Stephanie.
ਪਹਿਲਾ ਵਿਊਅਰ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਾਈਵ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਬੈਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਟੈਸਟ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਵਾਹ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਲ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਬੀ ਬੈਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੋਂ 9 ਵਜੇ 4 ਮਿੰਟ ਤੇ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ
ਡੱਬੇ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਸਟਾ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬਾਹਰ
how large it is, but no doubt they're going to be at capacity inside, as of course everyone wants to be part of this historic moment right there. Another live look at the U.S. Capitol, and you can see on the left-hand side of your screen the tree without leaves shaking in the wind. Once again, just a visible reminder as to why all of this is now evolved, has morphed into an indoor events day because of the bitter cold and, of course, most of these swearing-in ceremonies held outdoors for the public to attend, and so many folks have had those tickets in hand, ready to wait in line, and that has been drastically changed right here. My producer just sharing this with us. This, of course, is from the Republican Party. It says the location may have changed.
ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਣੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਸਟੈਂਡ ਪੈਣਾ
Inauguration and a peaceful transfer of power. So this is a look right there and walking up the steps, walking into the Capitol Rotunda right there. And to your point, Andrew, gives us a better idea about the capacity of this. And I don't know if you know this, Andrew, but no doubt people are going to be able to be seated, but I also have to imagine it might be standing room only, as so many people do want to make sure that they attend today's historic swearing-in ceremony.
Yeah, really interesting to see who is seated or standing where. Obviously, that's much easier to do on the dais outside in the front of the U.S. Capitol, so you can see very clearly. We're going to see again. It'll be interesting to see who's seated next to who, or standing next to who, and who gets that time place to be in front of the cameras here. Of course, they kind of sort of all of this stuff.
ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਆ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ
ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਕੁਝ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ YouTube ਨੂੰ
ਇਹਨੂੰ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਤੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਤੇ ਸੋਚੀਏ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ
It is going to be interesting with this series, so to speak.
Elimination don't be
But after that, we do want to bring in presidential historian Jim Rowe to talk more about the historic events that we are going to be seeing and counting it when it comes to looking ahead, but also looking behind and the present and future influence.
ਨਾਲ ਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਖੁੱਲਾ ਰਹਿ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ
Interesting conversation coming up after the break, Andrew. We'll be right back.
ਖਰਚੇ ਰੱਖ ਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਹੋਤੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਆਪਣੇ ਉਹ ਮੇਰਾ ਸੋਚਦੀ ਵੀ ਤਾਂ ਉਧਰ ਰੱਖ ਜਾਣਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਤੇ ਰੱਖ ਲਓ ਨਾ ਇਹ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੋਗਾ ਨਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਤਾ ਦੇਖੀ ਸੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਉਹ ਪਾਈਪਾਂ ਜੀਆਂ ਪਾਉਣੀਆਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਬਣਾਉਣੀ ਦੇਖੀ ਕੋਈ ਪਾਣੀ ਲੋਨ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਉਹ ਵਾਲੀ ਲੋਨ ਪਾ ਦੋ ਕੱਲ ਤੱਕ ਦੇ
Welcome back to our Live Now from Fox Inauguration Day 2025 coverage as we look ahead to the official swearing-in ceremony of President-elect Donald J. Trump and Vice President-elect J.D. Vance. And you're taking a live look The swearing-in ceremony is now going to be held inside the Capitol Rotunda, just the second time, the last time being back in 1985 for former President Ronald Reagan accepting the swearing-in ceremony. And a lot of disappointed people, as you can imagine, making the journey to Washington, D.C. This is a historic moment as President Trump to be sworn in as the 47th president. He was sworn in first 8 years ago when he was president, and this is the second time to be elected non-consecutively.
Oppure che non hanno le lingue per il सारा गार्बेज
Argentinian leader Javier Milei is there, and UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson among those in attendance for the service there. Steve, thanks so much for joining us. I know it's early, but I gotta ask, I don't want to belabor this point here today because it's about Donald Trump's inauguration, but we have to ask you what President Biden just issued about 2 hours ago. Preemptive pardons for a slew of Trump critics. Now, in just about an hour's time, Biden and Trump will be in the same car together, will be exchanging pleasantries, and he just delivered this parting shot to his longtime political rival. Having to get into what a preemptive pardon is, and any presidents have ever done that. What do you make of that? This one was final bar to a political vote he delivered with hours left as president.
Well, it's interesting. The pardon power is a really important part of our history. If you go back to the beginning of the country, there was a rebellion in the country by people who had served in the Continental Army, who were acting in their pay, and whose were being taken from them. It was called Shays' Rebellion. That led to the Constitutional Convention. Our Constitution brought George Washington out of retirement.
Oh, we got viewers.
Political life. So that rebellion was much about people who've been violent.
Yeah, so roti with a cha today and some dod, can't go wrong with some dod. Cheers.
Constitution was to allow the president to calm take the temperature down, to end something that could be, a very dangerous rebellion against the nation itself and harden people like Captain Chase. That power also was shown at the end of the Civil War with the general amnesty that was issued to the Confederate soldiers. And there was actually an act on Congress for that. Then you get to, the First World War, and Lord Hardin very courageously gave a pardon to Eugene Debs, who was a socialist leader who ran for president 4 times. He ran against Hardin in the election of 1920, and Hardin commuted his sentence. He had been put in jail for speaking out against the war, and many considered him a traitor for doing that, but a lot of people thought that was just First Amendment right to protest against the war, and when Hardin did that, his entire cabinet was not in favor of it, his wife was not in favor of it, but the point was to try to things.
ਕੱਟਿਆ ਇਨਕਮ ਵਧਨੇ ਖਰਚੇ ਗੀਲਾ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੱਕ ਤੇ ਤਰੱਕੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਜੀਵੀ ਚੱਲੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾ ਗੁੰਜੂਗਾ ਮਰ ਕੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾਲ ਖਾਤੀਰ ਕਾਲੇ ਬਰੇ ਟੱਕੀਆਂ ਲੱਟੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਬਰੇਕਾਂ ਜਦੇ ਵੱਜੀਆਂ 24/7 ਪੈਂਦੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਕੂਕ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਰੋਡ ਤੇ ਯਾਰਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਯਾਰਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਰਹਿਣ ਫੁੱਲ ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਚ ਢੋਰ ਟਕਾ ਕੇ ਕੱਟੀ ਆ ਬਾਕੀ ਗੱਲ ਰੱਬ ਤੇ ਛੱਡੀ ਆ ਬਾਕੀ ਗੱਲ ਰੱਬ ਤੇ ਛੱਡੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਰੀ ਦੀ ਮਨ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਰਕਾਨੀ ਪੈਰ ਪੱਟਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਧੂੜ ਪੱਟਦੇ ਪਤਾ ਲਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਕਾਦੋਂ ਨਾਪਦੀ ਇਰਾਦੇ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਜੱਟ ਦੇ ਦਿਨੋਂ ਦਿਨ ਝਟਾਏ ਕਰਾਵੇ ਅੱਪ ਚੜਦਾ ਬੰਦ ਮੌਜ ਲੁੱਟੀ ਦੀ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਜਲ ਕੇ ਸੜਦਾ ਮਿੱਟ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਵੇਲੀ ਐਵੇਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਰੇ ਫਿਰਦੀ ਸਾਲ ਗੜ ਦੇਖ ਲਈ ਤੂੰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਅੜਦਾ
ਨਾ ਧੋਤੀ ਤੇ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਅੱਡੀ ਆ ਬਾਕੀ ਗੱਲ ਰੱਬ ਤੇ ਛੱਡੀ ਆ ਬਾਕੀ ਗੱਲ ਰੱਬ ਤੇ ਛੱਡੀ
ਉਹ ਖਾਣ ਪੀਣ ਜੋਗੇ ਦੇਈ ਚੱਲ ਰੱਬਾ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਮੰਗ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਨਜ਼ਾਰੇ ਕੋਈ ਲੈਂਦਾਰੀ ਦੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਤੰਗ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਆਹ ਦੁੱਖ ਵੀ ਬੜੇ ਆ ਨਾਲੇ ਸੁੱਖ ਵੀ ਬੜੇ ਆ ਯਾਰ ਭੁੱਲ ਵੀ ਗਏ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਕਰਿਆ ਆਹ ਦੁੱਖ ਵੀ ਬੜੇ ਆ ਨਾਲੇ ਸੁੱਖ ਵੀ ਬੜੇ ਆ ਬਹੁਤੇ ਭੁੱਲ ਵੀ ਗਏ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਖੜਿਆ ਕੰਮ ਦੇ ਤਾਂ ਫੱਟੇ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਰੱਖੀਂਦੇ ਫੱਟੇ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਰੱਖੀਂਦੇ ਫੱਟੇ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਰੱਖੀਂਦੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੰਗ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਨਜ਼ਾਰੇ ਕੋਈ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਤੰਗ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਖਾਣ ਪੀਣ ਜੋਗੇ ਦੇਈ ਚੱਲ ਰੱਬਾ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਮੰਗ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕਦੇ ਬੀਜੇ ਕਦੇ ਲੰਗਰ ਚੁਕਾਈ ਦੀ ਸਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਲਗਾਈਏ ਗੱਲ ਦਿਲ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਾਈਦੀ ਕਦੇ ਬੀਜੇ ਕਦੇ ਲੰਗਰ ਚੁਕਾਈ ਦੀ ਸਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਲਗਾਈਏ ਗੱਲ ਦਿਲ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਾਈਦੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਬੇਰੰਗ ਮੇਰੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਯਾਰਾਂ ਬਿਨਾ ਮੇਰੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਯਾਰਾਂ ਬਿਨਾ ਮੇਰੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਯਾਰਾਂ ਬਿਨਾ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਬਿਨਾ ਰੰਗ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਨਜ਼ਾਰੇ ਕੋਈ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਤੱਕ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਖਾਣ ਪੀਣ ਜੋਗੇ ਦੇ
routinely takes place, as it has for almost 2 centuries. And few of us stop to think about how unique we really are. In the eyes of many in the world, this every 4-year ceremony we accept as normal is nothing less than a miracle. In the very next statement, he spoke to Carter Cohen, who was the president of the Nation Republic Company, this transition power. That is something that we should not take for granted. It's good that President Biden and Vice President Harris are going to be attending. It's very important that they do that for his own reasons.
ਮਿਸਟਰ ਬੈਂਸ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਕਸ਼ਨ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲਈ ਥੋੜੇ ਜਿਹੇ ਗਾਣੇ ਗੁਣੇ ਲਾ ਲਓ
And keep that as the peaceful transfer of power in our government. We don't have much of it.
ਜਾਣਾ ਨਾ ਨਾ
But it's good to look back at somebody like Reagan, very gracious about it.
ਤਕਰੀਬਨ
Very gracious with very gracious with Gerald Ford after Watergate, with pardon Richard Nixon, by the way, one of the reasons he didn't win. So, as I see it, it's important that the vice president attend.
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਤੇ ਬੋਲਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਕਪਾਹ ਬੈਂਕ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਇਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆ ਗੰਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ ਹਲੇ ਪਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਲਿਆ ਆ ਗੰਦਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਕਿ ਪਤਾ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਪੂਰਾ ਲੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਨੋਟ ਕਰੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ
ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਆਉਣੇ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਤੇਰੇ ਪੈਰ ਕੁੜੇ ਰਾਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੂੰ ਉੱਤੇ ਉੱਠ ਯਾਦ ਕਰੇਂਗੀ ਕੁੜੀਏ ਨੀ ਪਲ ਪਲ ਬਾਤ ਕਰੇਂਗੀ ਹੋਰ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੂੰ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨ ਵੀ
ਰਿਕਾਰਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਲਾਈਵ ਆ ਰਿਕਾਰਡਿੰਗ ਤੇ ਲਾਈਵ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਫਰਕ ਆ
ਜਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਣਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਬਿਨ ਵੀ ਸਰ ਜੂ
ਸਾਰੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਇਹੀ ਚੈਨਲ YouTube ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੇ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਘੱਟ ਆ
ਮੇਰਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਵੀ 15 ਮਿੰਟ ਬਾਅਦ ਖਾ ਲੇਗਾ
ਤਰਲੇ ਪਾਉਣਾ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਯਾਰ ਕਰੀ ਦੇ ਵੀਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੂੰ ਮੋੜ ਦੇਈ ਦੇ ਵੀਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਰਲੇ ਪਾਉਣਾ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ
ਅੱਛਾ ਕਿਉਂ
ਆ ਗਿਆ ਮਾਮਾ
Thank you. He says, mouthing those words and walking into the escort right there, the convoy. You know, and I just wanted to share that with our viewers as we continue to take a live look. But, you know, Andrew was sharing some of his favorite, inaugural speeches. You know, do you have one?
Yes, I mean, if you look at inaugurals, Andrew, as you said, the message of unity is what's most important. And you see it again and again. A lot of these inaugurals are a genre that, you know, follows kind of a pattern. The president starting off probably thanking the voters, essentially saying, I'm not sure I'm up to the task, as George Washington famously said in his very first inaugural. And then going through and saying, as Thomas Jefferson did in 1801, this dispute with Adams, he said then we are all Federalists, we are all Republicans, meaning we're all Americans. And after all our campaigns, so that's a very important message. I've seen that Trump is intending to talk about unity. Actually, if you look back at the speech, the American Carnage speech from 4 years ago, he actually did talk about unity there too. And so it is a really important message. But if you ask me, what are the important inaugurals? Obviously, Washington's, Jefferson's, and then I agree with Andrew, both of Lincoln's, but especially Lincoln's second inaugural, which was very important. Again, the country then torn apart by war, and 600,000 Americans losing their lives. Huge change in the country politically, and Lincoln chose that occasion to say, with malice towards none, with charity for all, let us bind up our wounds. That's the kind of message that you need to have if you've had a rough and tumble time, and especially when you've had such a severe war. The other two that I really like are Franklin Roosevelt's 1933. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself, where he tried to calm the nation in the midst of this Great Depression. And it was a really important message that calmed the fears in the country that, banks closing and things like that. It was a really difficult time. His message was one of fortitude and, bucking up the American people. And then my absolute favorite actually was JFK's 1961 inaugural, when he talked about,
1961.
let the torch be passed to us, and then we need to be a country of service. Ask not what your country can do for you as what you can do for your country. It's a wonderful, beautiful speech, very well put together, beautifully delivered. On a day not unlike today, it was about 22 degrees. You can see the breath. And Kennedy got up, no hat, no overcoat, and gave this very stirring speech that is worth watching, and I think considered one of the top 2 or 3 inaugurals.
You know, Jim, I also wanted to ask too, because we are in 30 days of mourning as a country in the wake of the death of former President Carter. President Biden issuing the guidance in the order for all American flags and federal buildings to be lowered to have staff. But in the last couple of days, you've heard from Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, you've heard from some Republican governors like Greg Abbott.
ਕੀ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੂੰ ਇੰਨੇ ਕੈਮਰੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੁਣ?
For today, the American flag should be raised back to full staff. At some state houses, that is going to happen. But we're learning, according to some reports, that Speaker Johnson also had ordered that for the U.S. Capitol. On some reports saying right now that the staff, the crew, are trying to bring it back to full staff, but the cords are frozen because it is so cold out. But I think as though, was there a previous time?
comment पढ़ो।
मैं पढ़ रहा दूर से पढ़ रहा। इंद्रित वो पुछदी है भी कोकिंग कर रही है भी कौन की है चक्कर की है।
ਕੀ ਖਾ ਰਹੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ।
जट्टा लगा चाय पराठा
छोटी बोली नहीं समझ आनी उसको। मैं भी बोली कहता भी नहीं समझ आनी।
समझ आनी है सारी समझ है।
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਕੌਣ ਹੈ ਪਤਾ ਤੂੰ?
When those presidents died in office, and you would have had, the flags that have mast. The transfer of power already happened. There was no,
ਮਾਤਾ ਕੋਲ ਰਹਿ ਜਾ ਵੀ ਤੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ?
there was no inaugural ceremony other than the giving of the oath to the vice president. Dire circumstances. It was done in various places, by the way. It wasn't just in the Capitol. Calvin Coolidge took the
ਮਾਤਾ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਖਾ ਖਾਂਦੀ ਰੋਟੀ।
his father's sworn
ਉਹ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੋ ਰੈਡੀ।
and several times that sort of thing happened.
ਉਹ ਰੋਟੀ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ
Presidency as well. Those would be followed by some
ਰਮੰਦਰ ਇੱਕ ਰੋਟੀ ਤੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਚਾਹ
ਕਮੈਂਟ ਆਇਆ
ਡਿਲੀਵਰੀ ਕਰ ਦੇ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨੈਚੁਰਲ ਲੋ YouTube ਤੇ।
resulted in 5 people only half staff
ਯਾਰ
during an inauguration would have been
ਰੋਟੀ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਹਵਾ ਚ ਨਿਕਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ।
emergency. LBJ down in Dallas. He was sworn in on Air Force One. Very interesting trivia question. Was it the person who swore LBJ in was Sarah Hughes, who was with
ਕਿੱਥੇ ਆ ਦੇ
the only woman to ever
ਹਟਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਯਾਰ।
administer the oath of office. And so you see that famous scene, which really interesting to me because I wrote in my book, 1973, that she's the one who gave the administer the oath. She was later the judge who decided Roe v. Wade in the lower court. And Wade was the guy who was the prosecutor who brought Oswald out, Henry Wade. So kind of a strange court. And when Roe v. Wade is issued on January 22, 1973. Later that day, Roe v. Wade was decided in the Supreme Court, and later that day, Lyndon Johnson dies. So there's a lot of real interesting connections to that story. But I think when you look at where the country is in terms of knowing a president or former president, I don't think that's ever happened before. I think that to me, this issue is one that is not worth much fighting about.
ਉਹ ਆ ਗਿਆ।
It is what it is, and it's symbolic to some people, so be it. But I think it is the law that we have to keep up and have staff.
And now we're taking a live look as President
ਰੌਲਾ ਪਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਮਾਰ ਗਿਆ।
This is the stepstone, if you
ਰੋਟੀ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਅੱਧੀ
before you arrive.
ਲੈ ਉਹ ਅੱਧੀ ਬਸ ਅੱਧੀ ਹੋਈ ਆ ਲੈਣੀ?
You were sharing with us in previous inaugural speeches and previous significant events as historic.
ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਾਰ ਕੇ ਕੱਢ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਭੁੱਖੇ ਹੀ ਹੋਣੇ ਆ
But you're also viewing what is happening.
ਬੈਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਵਿਊਅਰ ਇਹ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਹੋਣੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਭੁੱਖੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਪਰ ਆ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਦਾ ਨਾਸ਼ਤਾ ਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੱਜ ਕੇ ਖਾਈਦਾ ਇਸ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ
ਧਰਮਿੰਦਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਖਾਣ ਲੈਣੀ ਰੋਟੀ ਰੋਟੀ ਮੰਗਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ
मैंने लड़ी छोटी नहीं
This day is going to be remembered more than ever. And I think people put a lot of context there because it will be on the side and say, we needed to do this because people were being threatened with political prosecutions. And on the Republican side, they're going to say, well, you politically prosecuted President Trump and these people who were protesting in 2020. Really shows real pride in our country.
So I must read some of the comments. We have Ban Saab, and we have this viewer named Ujiera saying, "Hi, cooking time, spring rolls, and never mind, it was roti instead." So she said, "Enjoy." And she also said, "I want tea and roti."
छाड़ते हैं ना चल
That was true of Trump's first inaugural. That was true of Biden's inaugural.
ਰੋਟੀ ਖਾ ਲੈਣ ਦੇ ਯਾਰ ਪਲੀਜ਼
Broad principles and ways that you want to lead the nation. So it's an important time, an important document, an important marker for our country, and it's worthwhile going back and reading a number of these inaugural addresses to
कमला
really get a feel for how the country got through very
वो
difficult
तो आया
times.
नहीं है सारे
How
आए
the
हैं
country got through very good times and how we progressed and moved forward as a nation.
And moving forward, we were just sharing with our viewers,
Carol.
Jim, more individuals leaving the Harding St. John's Church. We were seeing Barron Trump, obviously the youngest son of President-elect Trump, along
नहीं
with
मैं हूँ कोई भी
a
दे
number of
सामने
his
जोड़
other
ओके तो जोड़
family members. And right here, we do see Vice President Kamala Harris and Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff welcoming Vice President-elect J.D. Vance. And so it does appear as though perhaps they're having a conversation. So I did want to raise the audio for our viewers to see what we can hear.
ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਦ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵਾਈਸ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਦੋਵੇਂ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਬੋਲਦੀਆਂ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੈ
ਬੋਲਦੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਹਾ ਹਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਕੁੜੀ
ਹਾਂ
the audio just a little bit difficult to hear, but from what we saw with the exchange, Jim, what do you make of this? Obviously, it was an incredibly contentious election cycle. And neither individual really mincing words or anyone for that matter. When we take a look at this exchange again, history is the making.
ਟ੍ਰੈਡੀਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਉਹ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕੰਮ
ਪਰ ਕੀ ਬਣਿਆ ਵੀ ਕੀ 4 ਸਾਲ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਰਹੀ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਕੀ ਉਹ ਕਿਉਂ ਗਿਆ ਉਹ ਸਮਾਨ ਲੈ ਗਿਆ ਉਹ ਲੈ ਗਿਆ ਕੁਝ ਬਣਿਆ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਿਆ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਵਾਲੇ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ
and become president. A lot of them come from the House. A lot of them are governors like Reagan and Carter. But these two people, J.D. Vance and Kamala Harris, both come out of the Senate tradition, which is a very collegial, fight but then get along type of atmosphere. And you can kind of see it in the way they greeted each other. There's grace there on both sides. And I think that's an important message for the American people, that we can disagree vehemently about policies and about all sorts of things that are really important to us. But at the end of the day, just like those senators have to get along in their legislating for the American people, those two show that they have Senate blood in them, so to speak, that they both are willing to be collegial and to speak to each other as human beings and as fellow politicians. So I was pleased to see that. I was pleased to see the smiles, and I think it's an important message.
मैं कपड़े ही जोड़े हैं तो वहाँ बटन खुले वाला
And I also wanted to share, Jim.
And in fact, here. So, talking about their Senate careers, they weren't in the Senate for very long, Harris nor Vance at all. So they didn't necessarily
मेरा
get
कितना
to,
फोन जोड़ लो
shoot maybe their legislative bona fides. They were. Really instantly catapulted to the White House, so to speak, weren't they?
Yes, it's a good point. And the Senate
होंगी
didn't have enough time to
Well, I
really
don't know.
establish himself, as you said. She kind of established herself when she was doing.
So, ਅੱਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਸਕਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਕੀ?
Supreme Court Justice candidates, also on a banking committee. So she was known for being she's a former prosecutor, and she was known for that.
ਅੱਗੇ ਕਰ ਲੋ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਕਰ ਲੋ ਭਾਜੀ
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਭੁੱਲ ਗਿਆ
along with Virginia,
ਮੈਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਚ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਆਉਣ ਡਈ ਬੁੱਢੀ ਲਾਲ ਕੋਲੇ
and the Virginia presidents all came
ਆਪਣਾ
over.
ਬਾਹਰ ਛੱਡ ਗਏ
George Washington, Monroe, Madison, Jefferson, and so forth. And then
ਛੱਡਣ
the
ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ
Civil War. And from the Civil War until
ਅੱਜ ਤਾਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਬੂਗਾ ਬਣਿਆ ਵੱਡਾ
Ohio ruled the presidency. It was Grant,
ਸਾਰੀ
Hayes,
ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ
Garfield, McKinley, Taft,
ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਿਊਅਰ
just a slew of Ohioans. And Ohio became known as the mother of presidents.
ਉਹਨੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਨੇ ਵੇਖਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਅਪਾਇੰਟਮੈਂਟ
born
ਦੇਤੀ
in
ਹੁਣ
Ohio, but not necessarily like Grant.
ਠੰਡ ਚ ਮਾਰੇ ਲੋਕ ਖੜਵਾਏ
But Ohio was known as a swing state. It was known as a heart of the country type
ਐਂਬੂਲੈਂਸ ਲਿਆ ਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਖੜੀ ਕਰਤੀ
state where people from both sides would share power back and forth. It's become very red at this point. It's become very ruby.
ਐਂਬੂਲੈਂਸ ਕਿਹਨੂੰ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਖੜਨਾ
Our
ਉਹਨੂੰ
legislature is super majority
Biden?
Republican. And we now have two Republican senators because Sherrod Brown just lost his election.
ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਵੇਖੇ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ
So he came out of that milieu, which is a little bit different from the former Ohio presidents who came out of a milieu where there was more of a give and take in Ohio and a division, pretty equal division in the state. So I was a bellwether state for
ਚੱਲ ਬਈ
over 100
ਆਪਾਂ
years.
ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਉਧਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣਾ
But all of those Ohio presidents were Republicans. They were in the tradition of Lincoln. They were in the tradition of reconstructing the South and so forth. A lot of interesting stories about them. And so J.D. Vance falls into that. I think we've had one vice president who was
ਓ ਲੈਪਟਾਪ ਮਾਰਨ ਲੱਗਾ
it'll be interesting to see what Vance can do, including the decisions that they made in the last 4 years. Jimmy Carter started the tradition with Mondale, bring him into the Oval Office and giving him an office in the White House, and consulting with him regularly, and that's been more or less.
Wow, that
It'll be interesting to see Donald Trump as such a dominant leader, and J.D. Vance has so little experience, relatively speaking. It'll be interesting to see how she's included in what task he's given, by the president, or if he'll be less of an authority than in the past. So, very interesting questions to come.
And it's interesting that you bring that up, Jim, because, talking about the role of the vice president during former President Jimmy Carter's funeral, we were hearing the words of the late former Vice President Mondale, and talking about the reason why he accepted was because he wanted the role of the vice president to be one that was respected, one that was more equal than in years past. And it is going to be interesting to see what that dynamic is like and what role J.D. Vance will play as we continue to take a look outside of Blair House. We are expecting President-elect Trump to depart momentarily. And on the lower right-hand side of your screen, that is an aerial view from inside the Capitol Hotel. Just a stunning view. As we take a look, and previously there were some singers, it does look like perhaps the ceremony, that portion of it has concluded, as we do see people exit right there, but just sharing with our viewers the different visuals.
ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਜਾਊਗਾ ਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਬੈਗ ਲੈ ਲਓ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਭਰ ਲਓ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਐਕਸਟਰਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਰ ਬੀਜ ਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਏ ਲੁੱਟ ਪੁੱਟ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ
previous dynamics and relationships with the presidents and their vice presidents. It'll be interesting to see what unfolds.
You see the presidential in front of the U.S. Capitol, and so we'll see who gets on that. I believe it will take the Bidens away, and then it will also take the Trumps to the White House. But my producer can correct me if I'm wrong on that front. When we take the shot of Blair House, and while we have Jim, can we just talk about the significance of Blair House? From my understanding, it's kind of like the country's guest room, so to speak. What do we know about it?
Yeah, what we know is that during the Second World War, when Winston Churchill came to the United States and stayed for weeks in the White House with Franklin Roosevelt. And eventually, she said to us, why do we have Churchill been there? Kind of our guest house for dignitaries who come rather than having them stay in the White House. So these are hilarious stories of Winston Churchill walking around the White House in the middle of the night, and there's one very famous story of him standing out naked in a bathtub that he was in, saying the Prime Minister of England has nothing to hide from the President of the United States. It was a real annoyance to Eleanor Roosevelt. So Blair House became kind of this very famous place for distinguished guests to stay. But during Truman's time, the White House was literally falling apart. And so they went in, you ought to see some of the pictures of this. They gutted the White House during Truman's administration, and he lived across the street in Blair House during that time. So it became kind of the White House itself. Then they recreated the White House to what it is now. But it was literally, they were worried that it was going to collapse because it had been so weakened over time. And during that time where
ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਸਿਰ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਚਾਰਟ ਖੜਾ ਬੈਠਾ
there's several nationalists who got friends. He led 2 classes at Truman. They got as far as the guards. The Blair House Truman was actually camp inside. several drugs were built, and also built, you know, really traumatic incidents that happened. The Blair House goes way back. I mean, the people who stayed there, people who see Lincoln when he was in the White House is interesting, but it really became what you talked about. A kind of you know, let's have our visitors stay in the Blair House as opposed to having to stay in the White House.
And as we talk about the Blair House, we're still waiting for President-elect Donald Trump to depart. But this is a live look. We are at the Capitol, where we are seeing his daughter, Ivanka Trump, arrive, along with a number of other family members right there. This is a live look as they're already starting to trickle in inside the Capitol. You see Eric Trump right there as well, walking inside, of course, awaiting for President-elect Trump and the Vice President-elect J.D. Vance to arrive. Another historical moment in the making, Jim and Andrew. This is really just the second time that the swearing-in ceremony is taking place inside at the Capitol Rotunda. Because of the weather, the incredibly cold weather. What's also interesting to note is that there have been very cold swearing-in ceremonies that have taken place outdoor. And Jim, historically, when we're taking a look at the decision-making process to whether or not to hold an inauguration, you know, traditionally outside or now shifting inside, you know, what is the thought process historically when it comes to determining, you know, the events that will take place?
Good question. Very good question. It gives us a chance to talk about this building too a little bit. The very first building was the Senate building, which is just to the right of the big dome. That was the original structure that was built, and then they began to build the rotunda. The original rotunda had a cap to it. It was much smaller than the one you see. In fact, the one you see was built during the time of Abraham Lincoln. You can see pictures of it being constructed during that. So they built that, and then the house was built on the other side. And then eventually they expanded the two wings, so where the Senate is now, it's further out, where the House is now, it's further out. But so in that context, these inaugurations took place in various stages and in various places. The Senate building was originally used as was the House chamber for the very first presidents. The first time it went outside was Andrew Jackson, and they used the east portico, not the west. The west portico is where it's been done since Ronald Reagan switched it from the east to the west, where we looked at the mall and you know, that beautiful thing that we show pictures of. And only part of that was on the east side. And on the east side is where you see, you know, those famous pictures of Lincoln when he did his second inaugural on the east side. What's interesting is once they built this huge dome on top of the, you know, the structure, so there was a project to do that. They took those doors down, they took that facade down, and their clothes are all in the national people over the those pillars are out there, and they were replaced by new pillars with new facade. So the facade you see is not the same facade. The people, it became much bigger and longer. And each president, you know, made a decision about whether to go forward. The exterior inauguration. When Grant was inaugurated, I think it was for the second time, it was extremely cold. It was like 16 degrees. And he went out, nevertheless, he did his inauguration outside. But he had this inaugural flag in a new Treasury building where you can see all people were wearing.
टेस्टिंग तो कुछ नहीं समझ इधर करके दिखा दो मुझे फिर मैं कह दूंगा कि जो मैं टीका करके दिखा दूँ
About the same temperature that it is right now, 22 degrees. You went ahead with it outside. Yeah, I think the better idea is to hold it inside and, you know, to not have people getting hurt.
Yeah, we're just looking at some of the arrivals. But again, maybe we can go into some of them here.
Jim, if we take a live look at the arrival here inside the Capitol, we're from that ask you this, and maybe you know, maybe you don't, but we are waiting President-elect Donald Trump to depart the White House and make his way here. You know, what's the process during this waiting period? What is he doing? Is he practicing his speech? Is he just relaxing? I mean, what does he do during this downtime? Or is he making phone calls that, you know, he set aside, you know, 200 or so executive orders? You know, can you take us from inside the warehouse as usual, like in the arrival here?
Well, I doubt he's trying to he's read about speech many times. And he's pretty good. My guess is he's talking about different people and getting ready for it. He's understanding our history. The president's getting to the president sworn in. The first inauguration was January. It placed on Washington. And all the way from Truman to George Bush, but I think he was sitting on the way and having a big celebration of him to that ceremony. He gets to the ceremony, they go to give him the inauguration and really did the bring the Bible. They had to run and get one from the Masonic temple that they used, and that many presidents have used since.
So that was it for today, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be making more content soon. Thank you.
He left his hotel with